Did you know that Aalto is the Finnish word for wave? He is the Wuthering Wave.
Wuthering Waves dropped a new Aalto trailer for the Tokyo Game Show 2023 and followed it up with a profile reveal and developer notes. Let's take a look, shall we? Aalto is an enigmatic information broker, known for his elusive nature and welcoming smile. Rumor has it he'll provide any information at the right price. According to Resonator Aalto's reports, there was a rare occurrence of heavy fog on the day of his birth. Aalto's tacit mark is located on the left side of his neck. Other than gaining the ability to briefly transform into a mist-like form, no significant physical changes have been observed in Aalto's body after his awakening. Resonator Aalto excels in the art of camouflage and transformation, often assuming an elusive and fluctuating physical state, akin to the characteristics of mist. Further tests conducted to ascertain the properties of the mist he conjures yielded inconclusive results. The resonance spectrum pattern of Aalto matches our known spectrum patterns of fog. Strong harmonic responses have been observed during testing, confirming the connection between fog and Aalto's awakening. Additionally, analysis of test samples has revealed a non-convergent Rebel's curve with a noticeable periodic waveform, which classifies Aalto as a congenital resonator. Researchers' annotation. As stated in the report, this resonator is cunning and a master of disguises, thus rendering the credibility of his recounts questionable. Annotation to the annotation. As a broker honoring integrity, I, Aalto, solemnly swear that the recount I presented is 100% truth, nothing more, nothing less. That was my best Aalto impression. Overclock Diagnostic report. Resonator Aalto's waveform graph shows elliptical fluctuations. The pattern of time domain is stable with no abnormal waveforms. Examination results are determined to be within the normal parameters, and Aalto bears no risk of overclocking. Resonator Aalto possesses a moderate criticality level. Resonator Aalto disappeared midway through the overclock diagnosis, thus no overclock history records were obtained. Cherished Item. A retro-style gaming console. This console may only offer simple, old-school pixel games, but it ignited the competitive spirit within Aalto and Encore. Both of them have been trying to seize every opportunity to secretly play and outdo each other's high scores on the console. However, for Aalto, the greatest joy comes from having his own records surpassed. Developer's notes. Aalto is a congenital resonator. He was born in the New Federation amidst a rare fog that had not been seen for years. Aalto often entertains those with a long face with his magic tricks. In those performances, he shapes little animals with the mist created by his forte, bringing joy to his audience. Sometimes they take the form of cute bunnies, other times majestic falcons, and even Encore's woolies. He is flexible like mist and sensitive like air. Aalto can read others' feelings, enveloping them in a light-hearted atmosphere, much like mist. Wherever he goes, cheers and joy always follow him. Aalto's forte allows him to conjure mist, shaping it into various forms or briefly dissolving into it. Much like the ever-shifting mist, his entire personality is erratic and unpredictable as well. One can hardly tell his true intentions. After all, for an intelligence broker, concealing weaknesses and veiling true emotions is always the wisest choice. Yet when Rover clears up the mist, Aalto's flippant and unreliable facade will be unveiled as mere camouflage. He is thoughtful and meticulous, always allowing him to resolve crises at critical moments. It is safe to conclude that Aalto is, in fact, a dependable man, contrary to what he appears to be. On the surface, Aalto appears to be a greedy, venal broker, willing to strike deals with anyone for the right price. However, deep down, he knows well that intelligence can do either good or evil. This realization has led him to establish his own unique pricing criteria, his scale to determine the value of everything. No one can hustle a deal if it involves intelligence Aalto does not want to sell. Despite Aalto's catchphrase, "Availability depends on remuneration," speculating the ideal offer for his intelligence, that is, ideal to Aalto, is never an easy task. Those with unrealistic dreams of amassing wealth by acquiring a piece of vital intelligence will find Aalto's quote astronomically high, whereas a lost girl can easily secure her mother's whereabouts from Aalto by offering him a piece of candy. No one knows what tips the balance on Aalto's scale to obtain the intelligence they desire. However, one thing is certain. You can never attempt to take advantage of Aalto or obtain anything from him that you don't rightfully deserve. Encore, a whimsical girl, is Aalto's best partner. Together, they embark on journeys filled with bustles while working on quests in the Black Shores. The odd pairing of an unreliable adult and a sensible child may seem peculiar to others, but surprisingly, it works. Whenever Aalto comes up with his wild plans, Encore is always the first to support him. Having been partners for a long time, she understands that there are always deeper meanings behind his ideas. To make things easier and gain the trust of people, the two would occasionally pose as a family, with Encore in charge of acting cute and Aalto being her miserable guardian. Although the two often squabble with each other, Aalto would always put Encore's safety first. The devices on Aalto's shoulders strengthen and store the mist he creates. Sometimes Aalto jokingly calls it fire spray on the go. This is a seemingly inconspicuous bone flute that is, in fact, a tape recorder that Aalto has owned since he was a child. Aalto carries it with him on various occasions, and this small device has gathered a substantial amount of valuable intelligence for him. Here we have a pair of sunglasses that Aalto always takes with him. They are essential for him whenever he wants to appear cool. Aalto wears a Blake bloom on his right shoulder to signify his membership with the Black Shores. Only individuals who receive Blake blooms as invitations are allowed to set foot on the Black Shores soil. Lastly, Aalto's terminal is Black Shores custom-made. It shares a modernist design with the organization's buildings. On the battlefield, Aalto's role is not that of a frontline warrior engaging enemies in close combat. Instead, he adopts a more strategic approach, maneuvering around the battle to support his allies. He can create mist avatars to taunt the enemies and allow his teammates to deal damage safely. His Resonance Liberation creates a Gate of Quandary. Bullets passing through it deal increased damage. Ranged resonators work better with Aalto in combat. By taking advantage of Aalto's mist, they can protect themselves from enemy attacks and deal enhanced damage. As an intelligence broker, Aalto profits off of danger, but direct confrontation with enemies isn't part of his strategy. Alright, well, enough about what's official about Aalto. Let's talk about what I think. Well, I wasn't really sure what to think of Aalto when he first came out. I will say that once his trailer landed, I was like, oh thank God, he is obnoxious. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. I love an obnoxious character. In fact, some might say I have a bit of a soft spot for the teasing, goofy, slightly nerdy, but self-assured characters. They just, mwah, I love it.
Come on, fellas. Can't we just talk this out? I thought you were interested in becoming professional brokers. Now, you better listen up. Enough of me lecturing. Thanks for coming. Well then, it's your time to shine. Why don't we start with your client?
Just listen to that voice of his, dripping with sarcasm, a little bit playful, gives that guy a nice, friendly hug who's trying to kill him. What I'm trying to say is, I love Aalto, and the fact that he's a bit of a dork only endears me to him more. I love those stupid glasses that he slaps on his face before he does his Resonance Liberation move. I do have to wonder how he got mixed up with Encore, though. They're so different. The lore says that they will sometimes pretend to be a parent and child, but, they don't look related, and they don't really act related. Hopefully, some of Aalto's duplicity rubs off on Encore, because I think that she could be a bit more precocious as well. But this ain't about her. This is about Aalto. Even though I used Aalto quite a bit in the closed beta 1, I couldn't help but feel like his kit wasn't quite working. But let's all be real, we're all glad to see that Aalto is finally firing an actual gun during his Resonance Liberation. Also, can we talk about how Aalto performs magic tricks that involve bunnies? Do you know who else conjures magic bunnies? Sanhua. And you can learn all about her lore right here in this video. Okay, so congenital means a disease or physical abnormality present from birth. All right, maybe he's born with it. Maybe he's a congenital resonator.